Hey everybody, this is the 80s slasher librarian Josh LaRue here with Alex Vanover. How's it going?
It's going good, man. Getting ready to watch some Jason X.
Now, we're going to be riffing some slasher flicks. I'm going to riff on this movie, but this is actually my all-time favorite Jason movie. So, I love you, Jason X. Please don't take it personal.
Please don't come after me with a big hook.
Yeah, I'll just give him his machete back. That's all he wants.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, huh?
All these movies have to have one professor that is just a moron.
It's always got to be a doctor or professor. Man, what's up with horror movies? Every time it's a morgue scene, there's always the morgue guy's always eating a sandwich. You ever notice that?
Yeah, I know.
Every movie.
How sanitary is that? He's like not even wiping his hands. Like Return of the Living Dead. He's making coffee after he just got done, performing an autopsy on a body.
Exactly. I get the gag and everything, but it's like it's been done like every single time. I used to work in a crematory, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a whole different story. So, did you have to actually prepare the bodies, or did you bring them in?
I picked them up. I would pick up bodies. I would cremate them, put the remains through the machine that turns them into dust, and box them up and deliver them.
Did you have to? If people had diseases or stuff, how was that handled?
They would be tagged and stuff, and there's different guidelines for that. Most of that would be sent to a certain place, like if it was real bad. We wouldn't get that. But I had to live there. Half of the building was an apartment, and I had to be there full time. So on one side, it's like an apartment, and then there's like a garage in the middle where we'd pull the van and take the bodies out, and then the embalming room's over there, and the cremator room, and an office. So at night, I would be sleeping with like 4 or 5 dead bodies just on the other side of the wall. Yeah.
Dude,
it was
way.
Pretty creepy.
I couldn't do that, man. No way.
I'd have to pick up bodies in the middle of the night, sometimes 2 in the morning, driving back roads in the middle of nowhere, no cars around with the body right behind me. It's creepy.
Dude, you could totally relate to Goodfellas then, like having a body in your trunk, like you got to go to your mom's house for dinner at like 3 o'clock in the morning and like borrow her butcher knife to like cut it up the rest of the way because he's banging.
I don't know if I can relate to all that, but I will tell you something kind of dark, though. Anytime I have nightmares about, like, zombies or dead people or whatever, I'll remember, like, in my dream, I will smell the smell of the dead that I remember from working there. And that really, really creeps me out when I have nightmares like that. Because it's been so long, I can't believe I still remember that, but...
Yeah, man.
It happens.
I've watched a lot of crime documentaries, and they say when they're interviewing the detectives or the police, they're like, yeah, we can definitely detect the smell of death, and it's like no other smell you've ever smelled in your entire life. You can't mistake it.
Yeah, zombie dreams make me sick to my stomach because of that, but... and I'll even wake up and... it's crazy how our brain works, you know? Like, you can smell and taste and stuff in a dream just from memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all connected. Yeah, all your senses are connected and create that perception.
Yeah, and I do lucid dreaming sometimes, and that's pretty fun. Took years to be able to do that. I started that by doing a dream journal and remembering my dreams, and then I got to the point where I could control most of them. So,
wait a minute. So you actually did some next level Freddy's Dead Doc dream interpretation for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the person that believes that anything in your dream has to do with you, even if you're dreaming about somebody else or something really weird. It's something about yourself. I believe that. But yeah, I would do dream journals so I'd remember my dreams. A lot of the short horror stories I've written is from nightmares, and over time, keeping track of my dreams and not forgetting them. I got to the point where a lot of the time I could just control my dreams and do whatever I wanted. It's pretty fun.
So you're actually a dream warrior, man. You have made it. Yeah, you're a dream warrior.
Except for sometimes when I'm like flying or something, all of a sudden it'll quit working and I'm falling. I'm like,
oh no.
You don't control it 100% of the time, but yeah.
That's really cool, man. I had one of the craziest dreams ever. A little bit after my mom was living with my grandfather, and I was going to college, and it was just the three of us in my grandpa's house. He passed away, but a week later, I had a dream where I was in my grandpa's bedroom, and the main bathroom was through my grandpa's bedroom. So he had this like old school sliding door that would go from the bedroom to the bathroom. Well, he would take baths, and steam would like come underneath the door. Well, in my dream, I'm in Grandpa's bedroom, and I can hear the water running, and I can see steam coming up from under the door. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yeah, because in my dream, I know Grandpa's dead.
Yeah.
So I opened the door, and I like look in the tub, and my grandpa's in there, and he's smiling, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing, grandpa?" And he's like, "Oh, everything's great, everything's fine. I just want you to let your mom know that I'm okay." And I was like, "What the fuck is going?" Like, it blew my mind.
I believe that. I believe that happens.
Well, I had that dream. I can remember it perfectly, and that was like 15 years ago.
I definitely believe that. People that's passed can visit us like that. I've had dreams similar. I'm not sure what's waiting on the other side. I'm not sure exactly what I believe in or whatever, but I believe there is some sort of. All the energy that makes us up just can't just cease to exist when we die.
No, and you learn that in science class. Like, energy never actually truly dissipates. It goes somewhere else.
Exactly. So there's something. We might not experience it or really know what's going on, but yeah. So Jason X. Almost seems like we got a podcast going on here.
Jason X is one of those movies where I was looking forward to it. So I heavily anticipated this film when it came out, and then it got leaked. So the box office was not as good as it should have been, which actually affected the franchise for a while.
Yep. I paid to go see it. I purposely waited till it was in theaters.
Good. That's the way it should be. If you like,
because I wanted to see it. Because it was the first Jason movie I got to go see in a theater, by myself. So I wanted to experience that, and I didn't find out about the torrent until like 3 months before it came out, anyway. So it was almost time. They were showing that "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" trailer on TV all the time.
Yeah, I was getting pumped up too because I was reading a lot of the website stuff. And I knew that Freddy vs. Jason was kind of in developmental hell, so I knew that they kind of pivoted to this movie. So I was like, whatever, I'm totally fine. Give me another Jason movie, because I also had never seen a Jason movie in the theater either. So this was a huge opportunity.
Since then, I've gotten to see Friday the 13th 3 in 3D at a theater, a reshowing of it, and even with that, it's unpopular opinion, but it's one of my least favorite Jason movies.
I also don't like Friday the 13th Part 3, and I don't like I don't like Shelley. I know Shelley's a universally loved character, but he's annoying, and I don't understand how he carried all those gadgets and props in that one little bag he had in the back of the car.
I do.
Tell me, how did that happen?
Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
I have played a couple times in the past, yes.
So he's got a bag of holding. He is a nerd. So, and I'm a nerd too, or else I wouldn't even know about a bag of holding. But that's my answer for it.
All right.
It's the only thing that makes sense. You know that clear mask he's wearing in the movie in the beginning?
Yes.
That is the mask that Jason wears in the Michael Avallone book for Friday the 13th Part 3.
Really?
He doesn't get the hockey mask. That happened on the set. There's two books for Friday the 13th Part 3. One was written before the movie came out. One was written by Simon Hawke later after the movie came out. The one that was written before didn't know about the hockey mask because that didn't come up till they were filming. So yeah, the original plan was for him to wear that like featureless mask, clear mask that Shelley had. So in the book he's wearing that, which is pretty crazy, and he gets his head cut off at the end. Jason does. It was going to be the end of the franchise. But yeah, I'm weird. My top 3 favorite Jason movies are Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell, New Beginning.
New Beginning is like my favorite.
The 3 that most people hate the most are my top 3 favorite. And this movie's got my favorite kill. And if you're getting ready to watch the movie with us, I'm going to do a countdown at 3, and when I say go, Start your movie up. We are right after the New Line logo. So as it fades away and it's coming up into the opening scene of the movie, that's where we're starting at. So in 3, 2, 1, go. Kind of looks like an arena there, you know?
Yeah, that's this is like the first time in a Friday the 13th movie where they actually kind of committed to CGI too.
And this is his head. This is what's going on in there.
I was listening to some commentary about Freddy versus Jason and like how it's looking inside of his head. You know how Jason's in hell and he's hunting and killing young co-eds and campers in his head in the opening scene? How is that hell? How is that hell for him? Why would he ever want to leave?
Yeah, he should be like going after him and they keep evading him.
Yeah, they should all be like the Psychic Tina. They should all just be whipping his ass in hell the whole time.
You know, Sean Cunningham was back on board for this one, and Manfredini, he came back.
Yeah, I saw Cunningham's name, right?
Score. Okay, a lot of people complain about his look with the hair and everything, and they're like, they didn't even try, and I'm like, hold on a second. Jason can regenerate, and in this movie, he's been in captivity for a long time, which means he hasn't been getting fucked up by a bunch of counselors constantly, you know, getting burned, getting hit, getting bludgeoned. So by this point, he would have regenerated almost back to looking human again.
Yeah, I talked to you about that before we started recording. I think you're completely right, because when you look at him when he's in the scene coming up, when he's like tied up and they've got all the locks all over him, in the back you can actually see his actual hair and almost normal skin. Like his skin is almost completely back to normal, like an actual human being, instead of that. Like
a lot of folks complain about that and say they didn't even try to make him look like Jason. I'm like, yeah, it's him after he's regenerated because he hasn't been getting messed up constantly, so it makes sense. I would complain if he still looked all weird, you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly. You can't just pick and choose your spots when he's, you know, that's his gift. The score so far is pretty good. I actually like this opening music.
Yeah. I used the score in the Jason X audiobooks I made. I love the chains and everything on this Jason.
So absolutely. I would love to know the backstory of how they got him chained up. I wish we could. I wish they covered that in the opening scene here.
The arrest and executions of Jason Voorhees. That'd be a good fan film.
I wish just over and over killing him over and over.
Crystal Lake Research Facility. They must not have much funding. It's like in a completely empty, like football-size area there.
Yeah, and they're using padlocks that like Harry Houdini used to like escape from in underwater in like 1917.
And as you pointed out before, I'll let you point it out whenever he comes in. I'm not going to steal that one, but that's really good. Jason, the amazing Jason. He's getting ready to do a escape artist thing. Oh, that you can even see Kane's neck scar, burn scars on his neck there.
I think they probably were like, "Go ahead, that's fine. It works for the character."
All right, Alex, go for it.
Here we go. So we've got the biggest, most notorious serial killer in the history of mankind, and he's chained up with 30 different locks and chains. But they feel that they only need this one inept security guard to watch him. One guy,
the smallest guy they can get.
Yeah, the tiniest guy. He's probably a PA on the set.
Why does he have a blanket at his desk?
He's the Linus. He's the Linus of the Friday the 13th series.
Don't look at me. Here's my blankie.
He looks like the guy from Predator who's constantly telling those jokes that gets basically just shredded. Who actually wrote Predator? Shane Black.
The movie doesn't point this out, but in the book they explain when he threw that blanket over him, it knocked off the IV that was sedating Jason. And
well, that explains it, because I'm like, okay, you put a blanket over him, but how the hell did he get out of all the padding?
That's how. his sedation went away, and he was able to do his his magical act there. But how do you sedate a dead person?
I have no idea, because in the zombie films, they just get more and more agitated and more active the less amount of time they have brains. So I think it would piss him off even more that he wasn't getting a couple kills. And
after 6, he's technically a zombie. Can you imagine if, like, after 6, Jason just ate people's brains every movie? That would totally change the franchise, for sure.
Jason Goes to Hell, he was eating hearts. I mean... he was having people eat his heart over and over again,
and tying up grown men and shaving them.
Yeah, the homoerotic shaving.
I love you, Adam Marcus. I love the movie. I promise. I love the movie. I'm not dissing on it.
I talked to Adam Marcus on Twitter, and I showed him the photo of the coroner bringing the pizza in to the autopsy of Jason Voorhees, and I said, "Hey, Adam. How did they get a photo of the coroner going in right before he was murdered? Because it's not even a photo. It's like a camera, like he's being recorded. Who's taking that footage?
So Jason is hiding behind a column here, just waiting for them to see that it's not him. He's like, okay, wait for it. Aha, see, it's not me. Now I get to kill you. I mean, what the hell? Was he just sitting back waiting for them to realize it's not Jason? Why didn't he just kill him when they... Why did he go through the trouble? Does he like surprising people?
When he does... So you hit on something that I think about every time I watch a Jason movie. Why does he... Like, him of all people, because Freddy likes the thrill of the chase and the hunt. Like, he gets off on that. Jason is completely... He's like a great white shark. He should not want to hide from people. It should just be like, okay, there you are, I'm going to kill you. There you are, I'm going to kill you.
He's a ninja too, man. Like, he was in that room, and like, while she's looking down at that dude, he like slipped past her just to get up behind her there. Like, how did he get out in the hallway, man? Did he do his video game thing and shift?
Yeah, well, if he did do that, he should have his purple suit on, his Nintendo purple suit, instead of this new deal he's got going on.
And again, why did he wait till she saw him to attack? You know, it's not like he's
Look at this, man. If you put yourself in her situation right here, you're down here. David Cronenberg showed up, just screwed everything up, and you're heading down to the cryogenic chamber, and you've got a 2-pump shotgun against an unstoppable killing machine. This is a bad situation.
I'd ask for a raise.
Oh my God, where is everybody else at? This facility is gigantic. There's nobody else here.
They lost their funding or something, or they just didn't get much.
And
the skinnier, smaller guy that works in the cryo unit's at lunch right now.
He's in charge of 3 different... It's like when you used to go into a Kmart before they all shut down. One guy would work in the paint department, the toy department, and the automotive department.
Oh, here comes the part that Freddy versus Jason kind of ripped off. I don't know why nobody ever brings that up. That right there is pretty much what Freddy does to Jason in Freddy vs. Jason with the canisters.
Oh yeah, where he says "man the torpedoes."
Yeah. Okay, why do you need to sit there and watch him freeze? You know, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Jason, I didn't let you stab me. Here, go ahead.
I want to know what the material is that he stabbed that machete through. Was that supposed to be metal, or what is that he shoved that machete through the door with? It looks like
solid, like 6-inch steel or thicker. You know, the next day, the other people that worked at the facility showed up, saw her and Jason down there, and said, "Fuck that bitch. You know what? Just leave her in there. Let's just leave her in there for 500 years. She's a snob. Nobody ever got her out. What the hell?"
She has no friends, no family. No one ever did a welfare check, not once.
And she's dying. She's like, "Who's gonna feed my cat? My cat."
I wanted to post something on Pinterest tonight. That's not going to get done.
If that's all 500 years would do to a place, it's not that bad.
I saw I saw a room. I looked on Google. There was this room from the 1920s. This lady died, and she owned the property, and I guess it just stayed in her family. Well, they never went in this room since she died, and they went back into it. It was like a time capsule. It looked exactly like a room from the 1920s would look in your imagination. Weird.
Was it covered in cobwebs and shit like that?
There was cobwebs, and there was, it looked like the wallpaper and stuff was starting to like peel and come off. But wherever she set her brush down was still there. Wherever she like put her little journal down, she had like a little tiny ice box. And when I say ice box, not a fridge, like a little box that you put ice in. Yeah. It was bizarre.
Okay, I don't know anything. I'm not scientific. I don't know any of that stuff. But 500 years, would they have the technology to keep that entire room frozen for 500 years? Like, with the leak going on and everything, would there be enough?
Unless the research facility was powered by a dam or like water power, there's no way. Who's paying the bill on this? Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For this?
Even another thing a lot of people try to say is like, it's like a bunch of scientists go in the future and they're like dumb teenagers. It's like, where did you hear that they're all scientists? They're freaking college students.
Yeah, exactly. And why are all their outfits? They all look like Tusken Radar from Star Trek or from Star Wars. They look like bounty hunters, or they look like the outfits they wear on Average Joe's in Dodgeball. They're just missing mouth gags.
It's the only two films that they could find, and like maybe they worship those characters now. Ice, lots of ice.
I know. Look at this guy.
Some kind of 20th century carbon filtration unit? A hockey bag.
You get a golden star.
The professor's like, you can twist my nipples later. You did a good job. Right. Has the professor been in any other films that you can recall? I've never seen him ever again.
I had fun voicing him in the audiobook for sure. Except for the "you pass" that part. Really awkward too.
This character, Azrael, is like one of my favorite characters. He did a great job in Harold and Kumar, too.
Okay, I gotta stop you for a second. I've frozen plastic before, and it's not gonna sit there and bend and stuff like it just did. Did you see that? It's like supposed to be frozen solid, but it's still bending and soft.
Valuable.
It would break. It'd be hard as a rock right now. I don't think anybody told the room how you're supposed to properly freeze things.
Why would they worry about little things like science when they've never worried about a timeline or anything else in this franchise?
Yeah, I know. Like Part 8 took place in like 2003 or something. If you go by the years.
Yeah.
In between sequels.
But yet, New York is still showing Batman from 1989 in Times Square there.
Yep.
Man, Jason's he's such a fierce killer. He's still able to take people's arms off when he's frozen.
Hey, don't attack him. He's an unarmed man. Jesus.
A bunch of these people ended up being in a Star Trek ripoff later on, including her.
Yeah, I heard what's crazy is the main girl, Rowan, and then KM, they were on this show where the girl that played KM was a human and the girl that played Rowan was an android. Like it was swapped on the show.
Okay.
Before this movie came out, apparently, or right after.
This movie
was filmed in 99.
Yeah, they put it, pardon the pun, they put this movie on ice for a while.
Yeah.
I think that show's name was Andromeda.
Yeah, I think that's it, yeah. Yeah, he's sitting there, I love this part. You don't know where his hand's at. They didn't show.
They're like, God, we're taking off again. It's going to be a mess after we take off because our pilot is a pervert.
Yeah. it zooms out and they're not even taking off. You know, he's just sitting there alone in this bar.
He's by himself, anticipating the liftoff.
Yeah, the wrong kind of liftoff.
Here's all the
that
here's
dude
all
right
the
there is a badass in Spartacus.
He looks like it.
You ever seen Spartacus TV show?
I haven't.
Oh, it's a good show. See what I mean? He's like, yeah.
And then the other guy is just sleeping all the time, just he's passed out.
It's a good thing.
He's Deputy Dog.
You know, a lot of people rip on this movie, but at its core, it's got the exact perfect formula of all the good Friday the 13th. It's just instead of camp, in the middle of the woods, they're in the middle of space.
I love it.
Hell, I like Leprechaun in space, so I can't really... My opinion don't mean shit.
Leprechaun in the Hood is where I stopped watching the Leprechaun franchise.
That's my favorite one. Leprechaun in the Hood is my favorite. I just did a Dr. Pepper drinking game with Slash Pepper on that one today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where I got off the ride.
Back to the Hood was the only one left with Warwick in it after that, and it wasn't that good.
Warwick was in so many good movies. Willow, freaking Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Leprechaun. He was go. Yeah, well, he shared the silver screen with Jennifer Aniston, man. Come on now.
I love him rapping in Lep in the Hood though as the Leprechaun. That was pretty funny.
I will. You know what? I will give them credit for that film. The makeup in that film is good.
And the Leprechaun Back to the Hood, they like tried to make him look darker, like New Nightmare Freddy. Mm-hmm. They gave him like a trench coat thing for a short person. Instead of wearing green, it was black. Oh, I'm sitting here sweating. As long as I don't say a man's heart beats for the last time, then I should be all right.
Oh man, yeah. Don't start limping on me, Josh. We need you to get through this film.
Oh my God! During the drinking game today, I was getting in my chair and my rolly chair went flying behind me, and I like hit the floor. He's like, "Can I use that?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. Go."
Yeah, my cat, when I was filming my podcast the other day, just kept trying to get in, and it sounded like someone was trying to break into my room for like 10 minutes. I think this is one of the prettiest girls in the Friday the 13th franchise.
And she gets the coolest kill.
Yeah.
He's like, run a full scan, check on our patient, get your head frozen and smash into the counter. You good?
Yeah, check, and then they're going to make a Mythbusters episode about this scene later on. Did you ever see that? They made a Mythbusters about that kill, and I guess it's not possible.
It's a freaking movie. I don't know why people got to take it so serious. She's pretty cute.
Oh, Janessa's really cute. Her personality makes her even cuter.
And she's a little more snobby in the book.
Yeah, in this one, she's like more fun-loving and sarcastic.
I love how they explain the nano ants in the book. That you can't really see them. That's all a hologram, just so you can kind of know where they're at. And then in Jason X2, the book, it picks up right where this movie leaves off with the mask in the lake, and like 2 of the nano ants survived on the mask.
Oh.
So they start going out into the lake and finding inorganic and organic material to rebuild Jason again. And there is a nuclear power plant nearby that's draining into the lake. So it uses that too and makes him even more powerful. So he's like nuclear Jason X. It's really cool. He's like all metal too, if you go by what the book explains. Because there's no flesh left.
As if Jason needed more of an advantage against his victims, who half the time have no idea he's even after him in the first place.
Yeah, the nuclear stuff makes it where he can just like go through a door, be able to phase through a door and stuff.
So like the T-1000.
Yep.
Jeez, can he shape weapons and stuff out of his own body?
No. At least he never tried.
Man, I wonder what these, like, if these kids hadn't died later in the film, what their grade would be at the end of the term, because they're extremely unfocused.
I know, and like, they're the first people in the world to ever wonder how Jason is hung. I mean, there's a character in Hate, Kill, Repeat that tries to give him a blowjob to save her life. That don't go over good. She gets his pants almost down and everything.
What the hell? What does his does the top of his penis have a hockey mask on top of it?
The book doesn't say, but yes. At least that's not the way I picture it. I mean, not the way I picture it.
Look at the camera there. Look at the technology they've got, man. It's highly advanced.
Yeah. The Plucker 10,000.
Yeah. That looks like something I got out of a 25-cent machine when I was a kid.
Yeah. You throw it against the wall or whatever.
You throw it against the wall, and my dad would just be pissed because I'd be leaving black marks all over the wall.
That's why I don't eat sardines right there.
God. That looks like a chicken gizzard.
It looked like she was covered in bees or something a second ago. Hey,
she had to have a full body scan, like her entire body, like, because when they showed the ants going over Azrael's arm, it was hardly anything. Her entire body was covered in ants.
She's like, I had the weirdest dream, and you were there, and you were there. Auntie M.
Oh man, my favorite. I don't like the original Wizard of Oz. I like Return to Oz.
God, dude, that thing was nightmare fuel when I was a kid.
The Wheelers?
Yes, the Wheelers,
I was talking to somebody about the Wheelers the other day, and he was like, why would you be scared of the Wheelers? Like, their hands are the wheels. So
go back and become a kid and watch it.
They're terrifying. They are terrifying.
I don't care if their hands are wheels or not, and they can't grab you. I don't care. They were,
Queen Mumby was the one that bothered me. She's got like 100 different heads of all these victims she has, and she keeps them alive with her powder of life. She kind of looks like a Kardashian, a little bit. What do you think? Just a little bit?
I'm going to tell you the truth. I've never seen a Kardashian.
Wait, not even on like a Google picture or anything?
No.
What?
Never seen a Kardashian.
You've heard rumors of them. You've heard tales.
I just can't keep up with them.
Boom.
Ernest P. Worrell's dog was named what?
Oh, man.
Rimshot.
Rimshot.
You just did it. You just did a Rimshot.
Damn it. His dog is like a major hero in Ernest Scared Stupid.
Man, Ernest Scared Stupid is like the perfect Ernest movie. It's creepy. It was actually kind of scary. The trolls designs were freaking creepy, and I was so sad whenever the kids came out of the tree and Ernest is like, "There's nothing in that tree for me," because Rimshot was in there.
Yep.
Like, oh, you didn't get Rimshot back.
That town treated Ernest like crap. He was like the one garbage guy for that entire town. Then they fire him, of course, because he did nothing wrong, but they think he's a creep because he's driving around like, I don't know. He was the most overconfident guy I've ever seen in my entire life, but he pulled it off perfectly because he was still lovable.
In all fairness, he did bring back a troll to life that took all the townspeople's kids and turned them into little wooden statues. It was his fault. What's going on next to this picture? It looks like a Amiga game or something from like Atari knockoff or something. You see that?
I do.
Left.
I think it's Rad Racer.
It's like, what the hell? And who the hell is he talking to?
Yeah,
who is the camera right above him in bed?
And why does the professor have a direct link to this guy where he's trying to sell stuff from his voice? Like, who is this guy?
I know. He's like a dollar store John Malkovich.
He looks like he's like in the end stages of some sort of terrible disease. Look how thin this guy is.
Like
he's
in an
stressed out.
Like he's in an incubator or something, you know?
Dealing with the professor all these years and his crazy schemes has finally like brought this guy to his deathbed.
Voorhees? That's not Deborah Voorhees, is it?
Oh, and the professor's like, oh, well, I just happen to have this guy on my ship.
Got him on ice.
Yeah, I've got him. He's been on ice for 500 years.
I can't make that joke anymore. We both made it now.
Just think of, like, if he does sell Jason, how many, sexual devices he can buy with that.
A couple more of those for sure.
What is that?
Bottle empty? That bottle looked empty to me.
That bottle is also, I was a bartender for like 15 years. That is the straight up same exact bottle of champagne that they've had since 1998. So that design must not have changed for hundreds and hundreds of years.
They found it in the room with her and Jason.
Oh man, you know how fermented that would be? That is like a good year.
Even if it was frozen the whole time?
You're not supposed to put white champagne or wine on ice. So
I'm sure that was the last thing on her mind whenever Jason stabbed her in the gut. I got to get this champagne out of here. I'm not supposed to freeze it.
Red is supposed to be room temperature. This is not the way. Oh man, his face is like steaming.
That's where the regenerative process stopped. You know, so it was like that close, and I had to narrate this part.
So Janessa, like, instead of like just doing homework, just like has relegated herself to like, this is just what I have to do every term.
How I nipple pinched my summer vacation. Yes. There's people in the comment sections like, oh my god, you said it.
Am I supposed to like believe that the professor climaxed there? Is that what's going on there when he says "Pat, you pass"?
Yes.
This stuff leaking right there is actually the professor's bed after the nipple scene. That's not Jason.
The nipple just falls on the floor. That nipple that KM gets put on her later, that's one of the professors.
Yeah, it got yanked off. He's like, "Oh, we'll just put some nano ants on there. We're fine."
Okay. That right there looks like a polished antique from the 1800s or something. That device next to her there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like something.
She just touched a screw on it, like a bolt that was holding something together, and started twisting it just there.
Like a gigantic teapot.
It didn't happen to the professor that way. They straight up do it in the book, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good for the professor. At least, at least
No. KM and him do it in the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is where the real sex doll industry is heading. This is where it's going to end up, actually.
I'm surprised there's not like a virtual reality system with like sensors for guy's body or something yet, honestly.
I'm sure there is. It just has. It's like when they create like a PS5 or a PS4. It's like it's already made probably a year after the last release. They just want to milk every dime out of that platform.
It's like dust it off. PS5.
Yeah, exactly. It was probably made like 10 years ago.
I mean, what more can they really add to it right now, to all these new systems? I mean,
you would have real
people in it.
You have like actually like what you see like in real life is the game. Like it would almost have to be like real virtual reality. Like that movie Brain Scan with Edward Furlong.
Yeah, exactly. He could have just jumped up right there and got her. Oh, he's got to wait for somebody to have sex. Never mind. That's what brings him back to life. And I love it. It's so tongue in cheek, no pun intended. Yeah, as soon as she moaned, he set up.
Oh man, not on his watch. Not on his watch.
Oh. Jason Voorhees, the human cock blocker. Cock blocker 10,000. I just want to hug you and hold you and love you forever. There's the cliche. You think after a while people would learn to not soundproof their rooms.
Yeah.
Look at him popping a pill.
Yeah, no, totally. His hand's right on her chest, and he's being really physical.
Kane hotter. No means no.
Holy crap.
Smashing. Simply smashing.
That is a fantastic kill.
She's not going to get ahead in her class.
That's not a way to get ahead in life.
She was the head of the class before that.
She was, man. She was like the one that the professor trusted, his whole project under while he's...
She's got to be the least favorite. She's the only one that he said, go in there with that psychopathic killer and take care of him. We'll all be over here.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Here he comes. He's got his miniature turnip plate here.
Yeah, and then we're going to go to Earth 3. Can I pinch your nipples?
Yeah. Do you have full movement in your and mobility in your wrists? I was hoping that you could use these forceps on my nipples later. What's on that windowsill? What's back there?
I didn't. Just looking. What is it?
I wish Creighton Duke hadn't died and Jason Goes to Hell.
Or if he had like a descendant or something.
Yeah, how does she know so much about him?
We just never got to finish off our facility.
The federal funding was in the year 2020. The funding was cut,
and we unfortunately can only hire the smallest, weebiest people for security guards.
They only had enough money to pay for that particular size of uniform. Anyone else that had any muscles or size at all was not allowed to apply for the position.
We were stocked in blankets, very much so. Though we did keep spare blankets laying around.
That looked like a prison blanket. Like if you're in county jail for the night.
That thing right there looks like an Alien and Predator had a baby. The thing behind him there.
Yeah, that little or a troll doll that actually is a real life troll doll.
I want to know more about that. They look better in the floor.
Professor's like, I've seen those clothes on the ground before.
These are Janessa's love children. You see now, it is that wit of yours that is what repels.
Just the human females.
But secretly, Janessa's doing the third grader on the playground thing right there. She secretly wants him, though.
Easy, Janessa. AM is the knowledge matrix android that I have been programmed.
Never seen that guy in another movie ever again, either.
Mm-mm. This is really an independent film if you think about it.
I am real. Professor, where do you want this?
Never seen him in another movie. Never. The only people I've seen in other films, obviously Kane Hodder and some of the people that were on the sci-fi show later on. And then you saw him in Spartacus in the back.
Ken Kersinger, man, he can kiss my ass.
I think you should just get rid of him.
What? Because he told New Line he told Ronnie Yu that he played Jason before to get the role in Freddy vs. Jason?
Yeah, in Part 8, even though he just did like one stunt in the Jason suit.
He was a short order cook in the diner.
Yeah,
where
I know.
Jason, throws him against the back of the mirror.
And then when Jason gets hit by a car, that's Ken Kersinger in the Jason suit.
Oh, so that's the scene where he said he played Jason?
Yep.
What a jerk.
Kane Hodder should have been in Freddy vs. Jason. I'm sorry. I'll never not be pissed about that.
He was handed the script. He was given the script.
Well, I don't know why they gave... Oh, shit. Room service.
Oh, my gosh.
Way to fluff your liver.
Yeah, well, Jason... Okay, why is Jason posing behind this guy? Go for the girl. Go take care of her. She was having sex. Take care of business.
That kill right there where he stabbed him and then pulled it out with the handle going through the guy.
Yeah.
That was one of the kills that Uber Jason was going to have in the video game.
That would have been sweet.
Well, I've got a whole complaint about that. They bullshitted us on that. He got put into the game before the lawsuit by accident. Uber Jason did. I'm not talking about when people were skinning Part 8 Jason and making it look like Uber Jason, but they actually released Uber Jason to like a third of the PC players. So if they had not taken him out, if they had just left him in the game and like fixed his sound and stuff as they went, we could have kept him. But because they took him out and then the lawsuit happened, they're like, oh, we can't put any new DLC in. And it's like, well, technically if it was in the game already, it's not new, but whatever. And then I found out the only reason they did all that is just to be respectful. They didn't have to not give us to that. They were trying to be respectful.
Supposedly. Allegedly.
It's just, I think it's just a big pile of horse crap. Like they should have given us the real Jasons for that game before they gave us like Roy Burns from Part 5. You know, give us when you run out of Jasons, then give us the copycat Jason.
Or Roy could be like an unlockable character in the game. Like, I don't think a lot of people are showing up to that. I mean, what is his? What I would want to know is if they actually did have Jason X like the entire time in that game. What was his power level and statistics?
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah, it had to have been ridiculous.
He had like almost no stun damage, but then again, Roy Burns could shift and warp, and for some reason, Pamela talked to him. So, I mean,
well, if Roy was such a great dad, why was his son at that halfway house to begin with? I mean, he's obviously got a good job. He's an ER medic. He's making good money. He's got insurance. He should have been helping that kid to begin with.
I wonder what Jason thought of that thing he just attacked.
He's just like, it's breathing, I'm killing it.
Jason's just like, what the fucking fuck?
They're like, we can't get the actual Stone Cold Steve Austin, so we'll get somebody that looks very, very similar.
The Dollar Tree version.
We're getting the generic version.
You know, he's actually a screenwriter, that guy. I think he wrote this movie.
I did know he wrote this movie, but I've
know?
never.
Okay.
He also does video games too. He writes storylines for video games.
He just shot him in the ass.
He's like, my ass just got regenerated, you son of a bitch.
No joke. In Hell Lake, the book, Jason gets shot in the asshole and then the balls.
Just unfazed.
And then Jason shoots somebody with a gun in that book, a rifle.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's
and he wears
interesting.
a welder's mask.
That's kind of interesting.
And he cries in it. He has the best friend in it.
Well, who's his best friend?
A serial killer he met in hell.
This is totally off topic, but Jason Goes to Hell, where body swapping Jason, where he's the scene where the main star is talking to the deputy, or the woman, the niece of Jason Voorhees, is talking to the deputy and the other guy. Yeah. In that scene, Jason is actually talking. He's speaking.
I know.
That bugs the crap out of me. Where's the weight room for Bronski and all these guys to work out? Because they're all jacked.
I know. It's like, what is this little cylinder room they're all waiting for him in? You know, that's their locker room.
That's the gorilla position. They're just about ready to enter through the curtain. They're going down to the ring here in a second.
They're having a ladder match.
Yeah, the match listings are posted right before they're finding out who they're working with that night. Right now,
me and this one guy had a handicap match one night at a show. I came out in a wheelchair and he came out with crutches.
In a handicap match. I don't know if that match would get over now in 2020.
No, we were a heel tag team, and we came out in our opponent's clothes that night. We came out and made fun of them wearing their clothes, and our opponents were backstage, and they did not tell us they were going to do this. The whole joke was just going to be we're going to come out dressed like them and make fun of them. Halfway through our thing, they come hopping down the aisle with rope tied around their hands and arms, and they're in their underwear with a gag in their mouth.
What?
They come hopping like we had tied them up, took their clothes off, and put them on. So we're in the ring trying to be, keep it together, and they're hopping down the ring with like we tied them up and gagged them.
That's excellent storytelling, man. They worked the angle for sure.
Yes, they did. It was great. It was great. But, oh my God, I looked over and it took everything I had not to just hit the floor laughing. Then one night we beat up the super face tag team and the crowd chased us with chairs to the locker room.
Oh really? They're like, did that? Not in our town, buddy.
Dude, I was way out in the boonies at a show, and we had to have the car pull up to the building to get us because people were like trying to attack us in the parking lot.
Yeah, I've heard so many stories about King Kong Bundy trying to leave Madison Square Garden back in the day, and like he couldn't. Every car he'd have would just be destroyed because he couldn't like drive his actual car to the arena because fans just hated him.
I did like the Roddy Piper thing. I almost got stabbed. I was a good heel. I took inspiration from Roddy, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. Okay, in a movie, Roddy was my biggest inspiration. But in a movie, just once, I want the guy to be like, "Sarah, is that you?" No, it's just Jason. Just me. Oh, okay. It's just the killer. No, it's not Sarah. It's the killer.
What are these gigantic like little globes he's got to the left of him here?
That's not what I look like.
Jason would have already that's ridiculous. That took me out of it for a second there. Jason would have already had him done.
Jason's behind him saying, "Look at the mirror." Dude, look at the fucking mirror already. I've been standing behind you for 5... There you go. It's like, what the hell?
It's just like New Blood when that guy is like, just got done having sex with that girl upstairs and he's going to go down and get food. And he's like looking in the fridge and Jason's just standing right behind him.
What is your stuff?
Yeah, what is that? I want to know. Just futuristic dioramas.
That's the way they grow clone plants in the future.
Yeah, he's got a weed growing operation going on the ship. The professor actually greenlit that because he needed the extra cash.
Well, he owed a bunch of it to that guy that is in the bed with the camera above him. Okay,
he's
what
like,
the fuck kind of like space is that they're going between?
It's like a broom closet. Why does he have a scope on that gun? If he shot that gun with that scope in his eye, his head would rip off.
Follow the leader.
They've got all this like amazing tactical gear on, but they have nothing covering their faces.
Why does Jason care if people hear him or not? He already knows bullets aren't going to hurt him. I mean, what's he afraid of?
Exactly. Or maybe he's not even aware of that. Maybe he's just still trapped in the mindset, I don't know, that he's still human or something. I have no idea.
It's like he likes to be sneaky.
If it was an actual...
Like, I just don't understand, like, at the beginning, why he covered that guy back up with the blanket, you know?
No clue. That
Why
totally...
he waited.
This guy puts up a pretty good fight here. And it's over. He's on a corkscrew. What is the purpose of that corkscrew? What does that do on the ship?
Plot twist. It's a plot twist.
God. Just a random corkscrew of death. Look at that thing.
Jason's like, satisfying.
Yeah, no doubt. It's like popping a bubble wrap for him.
By the way, if you listen to or read the novelization for Freddy vs. Jason, even in the book, it's like you can tell Jason was originally written for Kane Hodder. Like the way they say Jason moves and breathes and stuff.
I did pick up on that because I definitely listened to every time you'd release a new chapter. I would definitely listen to it.
It just the way they described what he was doing and stuff. When I read it, I just pictured like Kane's Jason. It didn't even sound or feel like the Jason from the movie.
No, what I understood was that they wanted a bigger Jason for the marketing of the film on the posters.
Give him
and
lifts.
Stuff.
Give him foot lifts. Shit, they do it. They do it for Freddy.
No, it doesn't. Robert Englund's what, like 5'6"? He's not very tall. 5'7" maybe.
They try to say in the documentary for it that he was like 6'1" or something. I'm like, he's not that tall.
Kane Hodder is a big guy, but he's not. Ken Kuzinger is 6'8", but I think Kane Hodder's like 6'4".
They could have just given Kane lifts, a couple inches of lift, man, or filmed it a certain way. That's just a bullshit excuse, is all that is. It's just Ronnie Yu acts like he's innocent in the whole thing. Bob Shea should have been on top of that.
I don't think Bob Shea cared, to be honest with you. Bob Shea was so worried about getting the Nightmare on Elm Street vibe and the Robert Englund thing going on that I think they could have had more Jason elements in that film.
Robert Englund and Kane Hodder did a lot of stuff together in the 90s, like conventions and stuff and interviews, trying to get the movie going. I'm honestly surprised Robert didn't go to bat for Kane.
Well, that's a great point, because they're still very friendly. They've been in a bunch of movies after the fact.
They were in the first Hatchet.
Yeah, they were in the first Hatchet. They were both in a documentary on Shudder too.
I need a Band-Aid.
That's horrible, man. All over her cornrows too.
I know, it's so inconsiderate of her to get all that blood all over that guy.
How rude. This guy's got a Bluetooth.
That's how you hook a crowd.
Man, oh man.
Look what I got with the claw machine.
It won't fit in the Dropbox part. I can't get it out. God, he lifts himself off this hook. There's a lot to be we can learn from Jason's determination and grit. If you just stay focused and really believe in yourself, you can do anything.
Don't worry about it, man. At least you got your uniform half off.
I know. God, man. He'd be so much whiter. I wish they would have done the makeup a little bit differently for him right there. I wish he
can't see my legs.
He would look like the Ultimate Warrior giving a speech on Raw.
Oh, man. That's like half of his blood gone like that.
Yeah, he would have been as white as a sheet.
If I'm still crawling after I've been cut in half, just put a bullet in my head before I. Oh my God! You ever seen? Oh my God! I forgot the name of the movie. The one that makes fun of Walk the Line, Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Dewey Cox story. It's like I think I do want to try some of that.
It's a It was a bad case of being cut in half.
Yeah, the opening scene when his brother gets killed.
It was a real bad case of being cut in half. That'll do it.
Dewey, you don't want no part of this.
None of this.
It's not addictive. It makes you feel good. It relaxes you. You don't want no part of this, Dewey.
I think I do.
I think I do want a part of it.
I don't want to get. I love it. It's like I don't want to get addicted. That's the worst part. It's not addictive. Oh, they should have listened to Mr. Professor Nipple Clamps here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Picked the wrong day to quit smoking.
Of all the people that should be leading the speech here, it's definitely not the professor. He's already shaky at best.
What movie reference was that, by the way?
What was it?
I picked the wrong day to quit smoking. I picked the wrong day to quit drinking. I picked the wrong day to quit amphetamines.
I don't know.
Airplane. You never seen Airplane?
I've seen Airplane.
Surely you've seen Airplane.
Yes, I've seen, and don't call me Shirley. I saw, my favorite part of Airplane is when Kareem is the pilot and the little kid won't leave him alone, and he finally breaks him, and he's like, you tried carrying Bill Russell and, all these guys up and down the court all day long.
I love Leslie Nielsen keeps popping in. Just want to tell you, we're all counting on you. And then after they land and everything, he still does it. Then he popped in. That happened in one of the Scary Movies.
Leslie Nielsen, that was like his first spoof movie that he ever did.
I was sad when he died too.
Yeah, I saw Dracula.
Jason, he made me spill my blood. Go ahead.
I saw Dracula Dead and Loving It in the theater. That was my first Leslie Nielsen movie I got to see because the Naked Gun movies were a little bit before my time. Yeah. 33 and a Third came out when I was like 9.
That's where I got my unarmed man joke, was from Spy Hard.
I saw Spy Hard in the theater.
Andy Griffith was the bad guy, and he's got fake arms. They fall off at the end. He's like, "Don't shoot! I'm an unarmed man." Okay, you don't realize it, but Jason just indirectly killed thousands and thousands of people right there. That's a whole city of people. Hilarious.
Well, we need to add it to his kill count. Then we need to update it.
Where are these cameras at? Look at the screens all around them a second ago that shows space, like different parts of the space. It's on their monitor. It's like they just got cameras all around the ship on the outside. Jesus. They should have put people there getting sucked out, though.
Oh, for sure. They could have definitely had some sort of on-screen effect to show that human beings were being sucked into space.
We got to get these people to a hospital. A hospital? What is it? It's a big building where you take sick people, but that's not important right now.
The professor's like, the first thing we need to go down there is go down there to that city we ripped open and see if there's anything we could sell.
And city's gone. See what I mean? They got these cameras on the outside. A while ago, there was like 4 different shots. There's other screens. It's gone, bitch. Look at the screen. Damn. You literally just watched it blow up.
What do you mean?
Gone. It can't be gone.
He's like, I'm doing some research here. It says a shitload of damage.
Why is it in all the space movies, stars are still like far off?
Yeah, they should be right next to them.
Right? I mean, I'm just saying, shouldn't there be something floating around, star? Like I said, I'm not scientist of any kind or whatever, but you'd think if they were that deep in space, there would be something, right? It wouldn't still look like it's in the night sky.
Yeah, oh, for sure. They'd be closer to some sort of like physical landmass, absolutely.
Those stars have to be something out there. I mean, shit.
Jason's like trying to get in. He's like, I want to shoot the...
I want you to pinch my nipples.
Yeah.
I love this line, though, that this one girl says.
She loves going to doors where Jason's right behind him and seeing what's going on. She did it in the opening scene. She's doing it again.
They open the door, and there's like a bag of burning dog poop out there, and Jason's just...
He's like, I just got tired of killing people. I just want to mix it up. The anticipation's killing
Stick your head up there and take a peek. Jason died by water, and I died by getting stabbed by a machete and frozen. Wonder if we can do something with that.
Yeah, how can we use that? Oh, speaking of that line, Josh, that's the editing in Freddy vs. Jason's so sloppy when they say that. They're like discussing the tale of Jason, and then she just blurts that out of nowhere. Why?
At least the book explains that Jason's only scared of water in his nightmares, and not in real life.
Yeah, in real life, he's underneath water in multiple movies. And Jason Takes Manhattan, he obviously walked under the ocean to get to the boat.
It's okay. He just wanted me to tweak his nipples. Janessa, come here.
This is the Linnea Quigley scene where she's like lying in the mud puddle and she's just like waiting to get murdered by all the zombies.
See Jason going, money? Did you say money? That's all I've been waiting on, man. Damn, nobody's ever offered that.
This is my big break, finally.
I love narrating this scene, though.
Do the line.
Shit's yours. Take it. I can't remember every word. Guys! It's okay. He just won his machete back. Woo! Woo!
That guy looks like
killed, so maybe he did take his machete back and he just slapped Jason, just slapped him real hard, made him scream.
That guy that
next time, don't you touch my machete. I did not mean to interrupt you, dude. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
That guy, what?
He looks like a bloated version of Jesse the Body Ventura. Like right there. You mean to tell me that I'm the governor of Minnesota and there is a zombie trying to kill me? You mean to tell me that?
It's the government. It's the shadow government.
It's the government.
You know what's scary? One day a conspiracy doomsday theory is going to come true. And that person's going to think that they really, You
just keep throwing enough shit at the wall, eventually something's going to stick.
12.1%? Well, you made me, asshole.
Yeah. Deal with it. The camera's about to zoom in here.
Okay, how did she have saliva coming out of her mouth, too?
This guy is good at designing human sex dolls.
Yeah, in the book, they didn't just make out there. They, yeah.
They went for 100?
Yep.
Excellent.
They got it up to 110%.
They redlined it.
And that pilot's in his grave going, this is my favorite part.
You passed! Oh, God.
It's a bloody steak.
He's got an extra tent spike just in his pocket.
Jesus H. Christ, woman.
That girl in the middle has lived so much longer than a typical Jason victim than she should have lived.
Yeah, and she's the one that really fucks him in the end. Well, not really. Like, not literally.
I bet she's hung like a mammoth.
I bet she is. Oh, yeah, him. Yeah.
No, she's cannon fodder, and she's made it through like at least half the movie. Janessa is definitely one of the characters I did not want.
I can't promise that. I did have yogurt earlier.
Activia.
She said, "Don't wreck my pants," didn't she? Or did she say, "Rip my pants"?
don't rip my pants because she's wearing her clothes.
I thought she said, "Don't wreck my pants." I was like, okay, shouldn't have ate yogurt earlier.
Oh man, screw that. That has Final Destination written all over it.
You should watch my podcast where we talked about Death of the Senses. I tell a story on the after show about a real life thing that happened to me that felt like Final Destination was about to happen. There was a song, there was stuff happening. It was just like the opening of a Final Destination movie.
And you felt like you'd been there before? You'd seen it before?
No, I felt like it was about to happen. Like I was getting like something bad was going to happen, then I was going to wake up, and then it was really going to happen. Like you're on the Patreon now. Check out After the Slash for the Death of the Senses one. It's a pretty cool story.
I'll check it out today, my friend. What is that red light blinking for? What are they supposed to be paying attention to in the back there?
Are they in the game hall now?
Yes. I think she's going to find both their bodies here in a second.
Okay, that's right.
Yep.
Oh, Brodsky. That didn't quite do it.
I know. How tough is he, man?
Will you let me finish using the bathroom first before you pull me out of here? Good Lord. I had the door shut.
I know. Look at him. Oh, man. And there's Jesse the not body Ventura.
Like Dennis Haskins Ventura. It's like Principal Belding and Jesse Ventura had a baby together.
God, Dennis Haskins, man. That's Saved by the Bell money. Mrs. Bliss, Saved by the Bell, The New Class, all the TV movies. He was in Rap Video as Mr. Belding recently.
I love the Jimmy Fallon reunion where Kelly's pregnant.
Yes. Yes, that is phenomenal. And Mark Paul Gosselaar wears the Zach hair, and it's just great.
If there was a way to revive that show somehow, they would do it, but there's just no way.
I think one of the biggest issues they have is Mark Paul Gosselaar works a lot with Fox. So that show was originally on NBC, so I don't know how you could logistically get him on both networks.
Well, like with Roseanne and all these other shows, it's easy to do a reboot, Full House. But with something like Saved by the Bell, there's not really anything you can really do with them in their, at middle age. I don't know.
You would have to have, like, one of them would have, like, they'd have to be teaching together somewhere.
Exactly, working at the school. They all work at the school.
Yeah, it would have
Slater's
to be like
the athletics coach or whatever, yeah. That's the only way.
Whoa,
give me some head, Jason.
Oh.
Okay, again, is Jason getting off on fucking with people in this movie?
Exactly, that was totally...
I've never paid this much attention. He threw the blanket over the guy, waited, got in the hallway, waited till she noticed, waited till he saw the reflection, held the head there. Oh my God, that woman is bad.
Well, Jason did have a lot of time to daydream about ways he was going to do things differently while he was frozen.
500 years frozen in time will give you such a crick in the neck.
Uh-oh.
That's a throwback to our Aladdin discussion here with the genie.
So what do you want your last wish to be, Al? I want you to be free, Genie. Robin Williams did kind of a horror movie, that 1 minute or 1 hour photo.
Oh my God, yes. One of his best.
That movie's awesome.
Looks like a You ever seen the Orville, the TV show?
Which TV show?
The Orville. Seth MacFarlane, Star Trek.
Oh, yes. I watched the first season, and then the kid who was in Critters is in that movie.
Oh, season 2 is even better, man. Their shuttle looks like a sperm, man. like I know that's what he was doing, and that thing she was in reminded me of that.
Have you seen 101 Ways to Die in the West?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
That went south so fast.
Mm-hmm. That movie's great.
You smiled in your picture? I used this song during this scene.
That's a good pull.
I love it.
With as good as Jason is at throwing machetes, he could have already had all these people killed.
I know, it's like he's wanting to fuck with him in this one.
Exactly.
You ever notice it looked like she had duct tape on her hand over there?
Let me see.
If you can't duck it, fuck it.
Say Jason kills everybody on the ship, then what? What happens? He just on the ship chilling? Where's he going? How does that end?
He'd find his way to Earth 2, trust me. In the sequels, he goes all over the place in space. He ends up on a moon. He ends up on another planet. Yeah, destroy him right on top of the nano ant table. Make sure you do that.
Exactly. This is totally Matrix-esque.
Thanks, though, there for a second. See, Jason, if you hadn't fucked around to get off the steering wheel, I'll be okay.
She has unlimited ammo in those guns. She's got movie clips.
Damn.
Stuck the landing.
What's going through Jason's head right now? He just punched the shit out of her. Finish her! Okay, Brodsky. You just saw him get shot 100 times and it didn't do anything. But yeah, come stab the fucker.
Yeah, but if he stabs him really hard this time.
Jason's like, you suck. You didn't even hit me.
Dude.
Can I say it again, or you want to say it? Go.
No, go ahead.
No, you gotta. If I do it, I'm repeating myself. You do it, it's different.
I can't remember.
I'm an unarmed man.
No, he's at a. Look how strong he. Look how strong he is. He was able to hold his balance with one leg and one arm. Seriously.
He must be right.
He's still coming. Jesus.
Fuck my liver. I don't need my liver. That ought to do it.
He's still able to perform a setup.
I can see him setting up being like, is that all you got? And then blows his head off. That ought to do it.
That's got Monty Python and the Holy Grail vibes when, 'tis but a flesh wound.
Yeah. Love Monty Python.
How come they haven't made a Jason Voorhees slot machine yet?
I've been to casinos that have Nightmare on Elm Street ones before, I think.
Oh, get out of here. What's the bonus like?
I don't know. I don't ever play those. They never pay out.
Man.
the licensed ones never pay out.
I would totally put $20 in a Nightmare on Elm Street slot machine.
Like I've seen Jurassic Park, stuff like that. Okay, nobody even stopped to go, maybe we should take him off the nano-at table.
They take him off, the end. They're just all, life's good. It's over. Man, it's like the year 2020, one thing after another.
We shouldn't, that's what we get for having a living organism as the whole. Bleeding out. Was that robot smiling and happy?
Yes. Emoting.
We all know robots are inherently evil, so it's just bullshit.
His tank top is distracting me.
He must work out.
It looks like it has 1998 written all over it. He got that from J Crew or The Gap.
Why would you wear that in like summertime? That looks so itchy and hot.
It does not look like it breathes at all. It looks like he killed the Cookie Monster and made a tank top out of it.
With his pelt, yeah.
Yeah, he collects. He is a Muppet hunter.
You ever seen that Happy Time Murders or whatever?
I've seen a couple snippets of it. Yeah, I have.
Oh, it got destroyed by critics, but it was pretty damn funny. It's filthy as hell. You got to go in there with like your 12-year-old self running your brain when you watch it, but it's funny.
Melissa McCarthy was in that, right?
Yeah. She keeps her overacting to a minimum for the most part.
She's like Tammy. Movie she was in with Sandra Bullock. I think it was called The Heat or something like that. She had a little run there where she was ruling entertainment, but she's fallen off quite a bit since Ghostbusters.
Since when?
I think the Ghost kind of things kind of went south a little bit for her. Exactly.
There's not been a Ghostbusters movie since 1989.
Okay, good. I'm glad you agree.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's a new one coming out in March.
And it's actually canon, so yeah, you're right.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I didn't. Was she a kid in Ghostbusters too?
No. She was in the library in the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Makes sense. I will not acknowledge the Ghostbusters movie. Sorry.
They totally, like, Chris Hemsworth, they used him incorrectly. They used everybody incorrectly. It was just not well done.
They could have just said that the main Ghostbuster guys were them. You know, they could have just made that where they helped the girls out, help pass the torch to them or something. You know, totally ignoring the old movies was the wrong way to handle it. And
they could have had Dan Aykroyd as the connective tissue for sure.
And not doing doing CG instead of practical, that was another mistake. If they had gone practical like the originals, they would have made enough money to make a sequel probably. So I'm kind of glad that they did the reshoots and all that.
Sometimes movies do CGI way too. I don't like is when you're doing practical effects in a movie and then you switch to CG, they don't look the same. So it takes me out of the experience because it's like the practical effect looks great and then that looks phony. You got to either go all in on one or the other.
Exactly. That right there is how he ends up with like all the metal. They couldn't find enough organic to fix him, so it's like searching for inorganic material right now.
They don't explain that at all. Thank you for filling that in.
There's like a quick shot of the computer saying, error, not enough organic tissue, seeking inorganic tissue. Abort, yes or no, and it's fried, so it doesn't abort. Smart ass, yeah, I think. I just said it, didn't I?
Kane from the WWE, so many things about his character is based off of Jason.
He's like, oh, you can't hurt me. Fast as fast can be, you can never hurt me.
Jason doesn't even realize he has these powers yet. He just discovered it. That character design is pretty badass, though.
I love it.
Me too.
I love how it's like his clothing isn't clothing. It's like growing into him.
He's got the Jason Goes to Hell mask thing where it's like his flesh is growing over the mask.
See, I think that's a tie-in. His Jason Goes to Hell look is because all the toxic sludge from the end of Part 8. When he put his mask back on, it melted to his face.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense, by the way. And what you said about that earlier is why he has different overalls on. Because the other stuff melted off of his body when he was in the sewers.
Exactly.
Kane Hodder said that metal piece on his arm and his chest was all one piece. That made it really hard to move.
I bet. I hate how we don't get a lot of Uber Jason in the movie. I wish we could have got like half the movie.
No, it's just like Jason Takes Manhattan. It's like Jason's on a boat, and then you get Manhattan for like 15 minutes. You get Uber Jason for like 15 minutes.
Well, you get Manhattan for like 2 minutes, and then you get Vancouver for the rest of it.
I know. Vancouver is like known for being cheaper to be able to film up there.
Well, at least you got some head, man. You didn't go home empty-handed.
She's still loving life. She's fine. Oh, hell yes, I am.
Ah!
Fuck.
No, I thought we would stay.
That was actually Brock Lesnar's arm when he was wrestling Mr. Perfect on the plane ride from hell. That was through the plane. They just got done wrestling.
I was going to tell you about Ghostbusters 2016. Look up the emails that got leaked from Sony, and the way like the woman that was running the studio talked about Ivan Reitman and destroying his legacy and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah, I saw some of those emails, and the ones that I was drawn to immediately were the ones where they were just ripping Adam Sandler a new asshole. They're like, no, they were like, we want to make another Hotel Transylvania 9. We can't, and he wants to have all of his friends in all of his movies. They openly bash him about that.
Wow. I'm trying, asshole. Damn. God.
If he can't hold on to them with and those delts, nobody can.
Oh God, I'd love to see the non MPAA cut of that,
where you actually see it go through the grate.
Yeah, you can tell it was cut away there.
The worst cutaway Jason movie was freaking New Blood. Everything was cut away or pulled back.
That's why they did the so many sleeping bag swings in this movie. Jesus Christ, look at that strength.
I know. You just got to respect his tenacity. He has a goal, and he goes after it. I admire him. I'm supposed to not like him, but I'm actually getting behind him.
I know. He would make a hell of a motivational breather.
Screw David Goggins and all those guys. This is the guy that you want to follow his example. There's no quit in him.
Okay, look at the head. Did you look at the head there? It looked nothing like the actress. Nothing like the actress at all.
No, that's just like in New Blood when the girl gets thrown out of the top of the window, and they have a guy with a red head with a red wig on.
Yeah,
guy's legs and everything.
Or in Jurassic Park where Lex is crawling through the ceiling, and she looks up, and it's like a middle-aged woman, stunt woman.
Yes. Or Freddy vs. Jason, where Kelly Rowland gets knocked against a tree, but the girl who is doing the stunt is like noticeably shorter than her.
Look at that head. You see it?
Yes, that's terrible. That is
Nobody
awful.
ever looks at that. Not once have I read a review or something where anybody knocks on that. Nobody looks at little details like that.
That looked really bad. Now that you brought it to my attention, that was horrible. It was pale, like.
Still my favorite Jason movie of all time.
I like it because it's exactly what you think it will be. It's a popcorn movie. It's great. It keeps me entertained the entire time.
Doesn't take itself seriously. It's original. It's fresh for the series. but
Mm-hmm.
it keeps its roots of what it's about.
I think
Still a
the
Friday the
problem,
13th flick.
one of the problems was the year it was released. I think 2001 was when everybody, I mean, at that time you were getting Urban Legends 2, Scream 3, everything was like extremely meta. Nothing was, they weren't taking things quite as serious. This movie was ahead of its time.
If it hadn't have been leaked, I think it would have done at least 10, 15 million at the box office.
I agree with you 100%.
More than what it made is what I mean.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, and it wouldn't have been looked at as a failure either. It would have been a success.
But that's what happens when you film a movie and sit on it for almost 3 years.
They should know better. They should have struck while the iron was hot. This is ultimately what led to Freddy versus Jason, actually, because they were like, okay, movie didn't make that much money. We better get the script and everything set up for Freddy versus Jason while we can still do it.
I literally just told you you're running out of time.
There's more stars.
We'll stand by until the last possible second where it looks like all hope is lost, and we'll get you out of here in a split second, right before you're dead.
He got an upgrade. Is that what I'm supposed to believe happened?
You're home. That's special
here
boy. Don't you remember Crystal Lake with the big metal structure sticking out of the lake, Jason?
Yeah, you don't remember that? You don't remember the steps leading into the lake? Life, he's back.
It will always be choo 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 ha 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 for me. I don't care. I've never heard key 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 ma 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 when I hear that. Not once.
That's what they want us to.
Yeah.
It's like when they put a New Hope, Star Wars. It was successful.
You're glitching on me.
They try to spin the narrative.
Oops. My fly was down. And I think he saw it.
What is she working on with a glow stick?
And how does she know how to do it just because he's telling her over the... it's like...
Yeah, what? She's familiar with this technology? She was frozen for 500 years.
Earlier, she picked up a futuristic gun. It's just like riding a bicycle.
Exactly.
Because whenever I shoot a gun, that's what I'm thinking. This is just like riding a bicycle right here. I had fun voicing this part, too. Want to smoke some pot? Or have premarital sex? We love premarital sex.
Look at this. Those sleeping are the character design that they did on the movie. It's like 80s sleep.
Keep glitching on me a little bit.
Dang it.
Are you a robot? I don't trust robots.
Eiffel 65.
This is what you're like. You ready? Here, this is what keeps happening. You see that slit hill? It looks really cool.
Like I'm ordering at a drive-thru.
Well, but yeah, you freeze up too. Like that's what I think. Dun 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 dun, super guy. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, cue the trailer.
I'm outside in space, like I just said. I love how the vacuum of space is still letting that plastic,
hold on by a thread.
It's like an off-brand vacuum of space instead of like Hoover.
This movie was brought to you by the fine folks at Dollar Tree.
Exactly. Look at that head. Look at it.
Terrible. I bet you she was working the eyes. In actuality.
Boy. He could have kept walking. He literally stopped and let the door finish closing, you know?
Yeah, he how would he even know Bronski's back there?
You've let me down, Jason. Oh, Jason I love that look of recognition.
Like, I thought I killed you
Why
earlier.
You didn't let Jason in. I'm supposed to be the final girl, and there's still a guy alive in here. Wait. Damn it, don't you know the rules?
There's a final head, a final girl, and a final creeper.
Oh, that's gross. Oh. Yep, just kidding. That is an awesome shot, though.
That is an awesome shot. That's flawless too. It looks really clean.
And this is exactly where Jason X2 starts up, man. It's so cool. Like after the mask lands.
Do you think there's a chance that they would ever greenlight a Jason X2 for a movie release?
No, but I think that as with all the Jason fan films, it would be awesome if somebody would do a Jason X fan film.
That would be awesome.
Be the first one. I mean, all these regular Jason fan films are kind of blending together, but because you could, I know it's Earth 2 and it's in the future, but you could do like what one of the books do, where they have like this moon where they set up a camp that's like old 80s and 70s and 80s summer camps. You go there for the experience, no technology, none of that, and Uber Jason can be there. You know, I don't know. This is whatever.
No, that could work. Have you seen Never Hike Alone?
Oh yes, Vincent's going to come on the podcast.
Yeah, that movie is incredible. Tom Matthews appears in that movie.
Never Hike in the Snow's coming out pretty soon.
I can't wait.
Did you make a wish? Did you wish to be slaughtered at this lake?
God.
Right there is the shot of where Jason X the experiment starts up. Right there.
Because he's being regenerated by the leftover nanotechnology.
Two of the nano ants start reproducing. Oh, there it is, everybody. That was our commentary / riff on Jason X. I had a lot of fun with that. This is going to be hopefully a thing called Slash Trax. This was kind of our first trial on it, first experiment on it. Yeah, what'd you think, Alex?
I thought it was good. I definitely loved all the insight that you had on the backstory of the film. And I love that you have all the knowledge about the books because it fills in the spots where the movie actually didn't fill it in for me.
I was afraid I was getting annoying with the books, with the book talk, you know? It's
I liked it.
In this book, in that book.
No. That was good. I liked it a lot.
But the whole blanket knocking off his IV tube would have really helped out in the movie. You know, to explain how just throwing a blanket over him led to him getting off there and, you know, replacing and putting that guy on there.
Yeah, that totally didn't make any sense until you explained that to me, because then it was like, okay, I can get behind that. But before, it's like, what the hell? Like, he must have just been biding his time like he done in a lot of murders in this movie, where he's like playing with people. He could have been out the whole time. You know what I mean?
Then again, magicians always like cover up, you know, put a blanket over before they escape, you know. So maybe that's all he was waiting on.
Yeah, sleight of hand.
You know? But yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Magician Jason that was in this movie quite a bit. I'm surprised we didn't see any white tigers in some of his kills.
Or the Tiger King. That would have been cool.
Oh, my God. I'll never financially recover. Hey, did you see that Carol Baskin actually was awarded the zoo recently?
There is no God.
Jeff Lowe lost the zoo because, you know, Joe Exotic apparently didn't legally transfer the zoo title over to Jeff. So it
Jeff
actually
didn't deserve it either. But Carol Baskin's, oh God, she's one of those people that apparently karma just forgot, because
I believe that she killed her husband. I think she killed her husband, like, for sure.
Yeah, I think that other guy helped her new husband.
Yes, she killed her husband, and I think she got the zoo like she wanted, and I think that she definitely likes to present herself as this great humanitarian for animals, but she's doing the same thing that they do, just on a different scale. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And some of her cages are smaller. But yeah, thank you so much, Alex. Had a blast. Hope you all enjoyed it. We really haven't picked the next one yet, but I was thinking, if you're okay with it, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Please.
Awesome. That'll be the next one.
Please. I got
so much I want to say about that. So yes. Everybody have a great night. Thanks a lot. See you next time.
Thank you, guys. Freddy's knowledge.